right, welcome to JCCR Racing. Thank you so much for making it. So we're going to be doing a few things today, and this is why you're going to want to watch. One, we're in the C class, that's the clown class. It's going to be entertaining. There's going to be some bumps, some scratches, more than just trading paint. Probably be speared into another stratosphere at some point. We're going to be putting the metal to the metal to show you the tips and tricks to racing online. We're going to be answering two questions. One, can you win by driving safely? So can you win without crashing, without being that player that hits everyone? And we're also going to be doing the can I win with this car? So this car shouldn't win. It's the Dodge Viper. And I'm not sure if you can see here, but I want to, for the Dodge Viper here, I want to wear the cowboy hat, but we'll put it up on, actually that's going to get knocked off the steering wheel. So let's get rid of the distraction. Put it over. We should put the cowboy hat here over on Mario. We got Mario in the background because, well, C-Class Racing, there's a lot of Mario Kart going on. You got people throwing out blue turtle shells accidentally, meaning accidentally hitting you, and there's a lot of red turtle shell action too. So I've picked the red Viper. Hopefully people will fear the Viper, and I'm going to drive like I'm on my way to my cousin's house. Real fast, gotta get there, Dukes of Hazzard style. So we've got the Dodge Viper. Love this car, and it's such a surprise because in the real world, so many of these are rebuilt titles because they're very hard to control. So we wouldn't expect a win, and I'm starting off in 12th position. We've got a safety rating S, so that's my honor badge. Now I have to get used to it. I haven't driven this since last night. But the Dodge, you got to shift early. The acceleration's great. So we're going to drive clean, and we're going to find out, can you win by driving safely? And I'm pretty bold here, gone right online, so there's no editing to this. You're watching it live. I could finish in last, but I predict that the Viper is a car that can win. I got a second place last night in the Nissan GTR, so that's going on my top car, working to find the best cars in GT7. And at least not online, but just doing time trials, I was like, wow, the Viper is fast, and I didn't expect it to be fast and to handle as well, but it goes over the curbs well. It's a little, you don't want to full throttle it. I'll tell you, the GTR is just fantastic, and I think we can actually do some impressive business. I think we can win with this Dodge Viper, and I'm gonna keep trying until I do win. I'm gonna be a donkey about it, real hard-headed. I have faith in the Dodge Viper. Doesn't carry the class of a 911 or 458 Italia. For 911s for class if you're looking for a classy ride. But I think through safe driving and having a car that it did not expect to be stable at all. I expected this thing to just touch the curbs and go off the track. I expected to lay into the throttle and have it go off the track. Woo! He went way off track. So we've gone from 12th to 7th. So far, good progress with the Dodge Viper due to its stability, its excellent handling. Good and slow. His name's Good and Slow, but he left the room. Folks, community, I encourage you to never cry quit or rage quit. We've been speared into another stratosphere so many times we can't count, but we don't rage quit. We keep racing because, hey, we need to learn how to drive defensively. And on this channel, we're going to try to go from absolute zero to hero. So follow along, because we're going from absolute beginner to we're now intermediate. We're driving C. I consider that intermediate. You can call me a beginner in the comments. Love to know your opinion on the C class. Love the car in front of us. Check that out. Slow written on the back. Oh, you're very cool, Clutch 20. Very cool. Clutch 2022. So maybe he's been racing since 2022. We dabbled in it a bit in a year ago, 9 months ago, but we just really started again about a month ago. Testing out how I can push the Viper. I've been pretty respectful, pretty easy on it so far. I didn't do what I always recommend everyone to do, big beginner tip. Run a few laps of getting the online title going. Need to get a little closer to draft properly behind. I feel like sounded like we got hit in the back there. Oh, we've been hit again. I'm gonna take my place back because look how sturdy and strong the Viper is. We were just attacked. That was a spear, and he tried to spear us into another stratosphere, and the Viper took it like a champ, like the world champion, because he flew off the track. He paid for his cruelty. So here I need to be a lot closer to that apex so we can get back on the throttle a lot earlier. So better to go in slow and come out quick. Or as I like to say, my mantra, slower is faster. So just did an entire endurance race and not with this car. Smart money would have been to take this car, but we took the Spa endurance race. Very controllable Spa endurance race with the Nissan GTR GT500. Tuned it down to fit into the 800 performance point class. Had a little underpowered, but the handling and braking were just incredible. So I'm getting used to the braking of a GR3 car all over again. Because that was an hour endurance race. It's the 24-hour condensed into 1 hour. So 24-hour endurance race. And it has changed my habits somewhat. The Viper is just such a solid car. It's solid, it handles well enough, it brakes well enough. It's not the fastest braking car in the game. Let's test it here at 50. Oh no, we don't want to test it here. And if you line it up just right, it will give you the drive line you want. The brakes are a little weak, as you can see there. I'm used to braking and having more brakes. Beautiful sounding V10, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see why they would have thrown something other than the V10 in it for the race version. Get on the apex so we can be back on the throttle a lot earlier than last time. That's a lot quicker than last time. So there, the 911, for example, or the Huracan, if you get just a little bit of grass on those, one rear tire, you're out. You'll have taken yourself out. But look how controllable the Viper is. It's great. You can you can have more steering wheel turn and throttle in than many of the cars. The turn in is pretty darn good. Very decent. See, really controllable slides. Not the case for the 911. This is surprisingly more of a beginner car than the 911. So I'd consider a victory any pole position. But the front of the pack is being a lot classier than I expected, where I'm not seeing any crashes. The Viper does want to drift a little. Oh, and he cut me in, but he cut and then he... That's just bad driving. Absolute childish driving. Let's get out of here. The best revenge is victory. So yeah, he took that corner, cut that corner in a way where he was never going to make it anyways. It was as if he just planned on hitting me and using me as brakes. So you got to be defensive, and that's why we've got the radar on, but I wasn't watching it. And we should be watching that radar as we race. So our times are definitely coming down now that we don't have traffic in front of us and getting used to the Viper. So I should have been used to the Viper as of lap 1, but we'll get him in race 2. I'm sure this car I can pole position with this car. It's enough of a beginner car without being an absolute beginner car. Like, it still has good acceleration. The sliding is a bit of an issue though. Does not like having when I come off the brakes too quick with the steering wheel turned, it does slide out. Here's this pusher again, but look how solid the Viper is. Nothing, you got nothing. Oh, and it's a GTR though. That is one solid car. I got pushed into that car, but that's going to probably affect my safety rating just the same. Well, there we go. Viper SRT. I still didn't expect it to be that solid and that controllable. We beat out a BRZ, a 911, a GTR, and a BRZ. And we still did a lot better than our best lap time, which wasn't even in this car. My best lap time in this car is 2 seconds later than where we start on the grid. We started on the grid in 12th. We were in 6th, I think, for a while. So I still think that if there's a bit of a battle up front, we can still pole. Not as easy to pole position with this as the Nissan GTR. That is an absolute breeze. So our safety rating stayed the same. Seems like the game recognizes that we got punted into another car. No effect there. Spec 4231 saying while defending. Yeah. Chunk of Love didn't seem to love it now. Behind us was RKZR. And congratulations to FAM Clutch 2022. And we were behind Clutch 2022 for a while. If we could have just stayed glued to them, we could have finished up in 3rd. So let's try that again, folks. Start getting into the next race. Now, the last live we did finish in 2nd. So if you want to see that GTR victory and how it was not much of a challenge to get a top speed, fast laps with a very solid car, check that out. Qualifying time trial. Let's see how much we can push the Viper. Let's really try to get the time down. So in between races, highly recommend. Big Gran Turismo tip. especially if you're using a new car. Try it out. So turn one, we're gonna go in with some hard, quick braking at the 50. Just before, and I can already see I got what we recognized in the race. So we'll try that again. What we recognized in the race is one of the weaknesses of the Viper. And that's that if you let off the brake quickly, you'll have issues. Letting off the brake while the steering wheel is just a little turned is going to get you sliding. It's usually a controllable slide, but why start the slide in the first place? Usually we got out, the sliding the Viper in the last race, usually we got out of it just fine. But that one time took us a bit to the grass, but it was still controllable. So at the 100, we'll do our braking, come off the brake slower. Okay, not bad. So we definitely, when the steering wheel's turned, we don't want to be full acceleration or full brakes. It's not, haven't found a car that can really survive that situation. So I don't know, let me know in the comments, do you ever find yourself getting into a new car and driving it exactly the way you would another car? So my basis for all cars I drive when I don't know them is I go into like an automatic default mode of driving the Porsche 911, meaning I'm very hesitant to add throttle near when I'm on a curb, and very, very hesitant to be hard on the throttle coming out. So controllable slide on the Dodge Viper. So here, Ferrari 458 and 911 and Huracan on that corner, if you're too hard on the throttle, the back end wants to start squirreling around all over the place. The Viper seems to be more resistant. And it's fine on those curbs. So that's great. Need to get down to about 203. Consistent 203s to have a chance to pole position. Here, quick little break at the 50. Beautiful, easy, controllable slide. Viper, we're friends now. I didn't know Dodge could make, I guess, how much of this car did Dodge make, I wonder. But whoever made this, if it's like this in the real world, wow, I wouldn't expect to be able to compete with the Dodge Viper unless an absolute expert, because, well, the GT350 kind of, Shelby GT350 is kind of like the Mustangs of the real world. It's hard to drive in the game, and it's hard to safely drive in the real world as well. So, Steve, great job on your pole position of 201.8. That's a lot faster than our 203.3. So, everyone, we're starting off in 12th. Everyone is a faster driver, but as we saw in the last race where we finished 8th, driving safely will have you finish ahead of drivers that are faster than you, drivers that know the game and the tracks better than you, drivers that may have a car that's better suited to the track. By the way, the BRZ, Lone Wolf had suggested we try out the BRZ and the Nissan on this, the GTR on this track, and he was absolutely right. Both were fantastic. So right now, fastest lap time on the grid goes to an NSX. So welcome to Suzuka Circuit Daily Races. We're going to do some competitive racing. We've gotten second place at BRZ. And we need to try out the Renault, I guess it is. Suggestion from someone left a comment. Try out, I think it was the RC, so the Peugeot Renault. We'll check that out. I've never driven it, so we'll see how it does in the hands of an absolute beginner, because I've never driven it. I'll be driving it the first time, doing 2 warm-up laps, and then taking it online multiplayer. The Viper, I think, looks amazing. Let me know what you think about the looks of the Viper. McLaren is trying to go from last to first. Oh, sorry, friend, sorry. I don't want to start a lawn mowing business here. I'm not a landscaper. But the Viper does well in the grass, and we've just been speared into the grass, so good thing it's in its element in the grass. So I guess maybe we'll be going from last to who knows where. Still driving safe. So we saw in the last race, people that don't drive safe can spear themselves into another stratosphere. We got completely speared, and they completely crashed. They bounced off of us. A little too aggressive there. So I'll know for next time. I was a little too confident in how this can take a turn. So there's a fight there, and clearly he attacked someone, and I call that cry quitting. He attacked someone, didn't turn out the way he wanted it to, and then he quit. That's unfortunate. Don't quit, guys, ladies and gents. Look, we're dogging it out in 12th, and we're not quitting. Especially when our live title is I didn't expect to win with this car. I really did expect, with how beefy and tanky and how this Viper doesn't get pushed around, really expected to get pole. But he's just planning on driving through straight. It seems like he slowed down quite a bit using bumping as a braking technique. Sevilla Le Mans, I'm coming. Drafting, getting ahead because of that. Very, very controllable under dire situations, but does tend to go into a straight. Gets nutty, squirrely when you let go of the brakes too quickly. You have to be kind of light on the brakes to avoid that drifting, sliding. It's letting go of the brakes. It just kind of popped and got off track. I'm sure in the hands of a really experienced driver, he can use that as an advantage to cut in on a curve, on a turn. So since our second place last night, I feel like we've been put in with faster C-Class drivers. Sorry, friend, you're really going slow there, but still very sorry. So getting past there very fairly, clean pass. That's because we let go of the accelerator to avoid grassing it. Did not have a good line, and that's on me. Ideally go through this corner in 5th to really stick it. Okay, Dog Tavern ahead of us. We've got a close race, battling it out. Nobody wants to finish last. Still pretty. So there, comment, let me know what I'm doing wrong. I think I'm going in, and I'm expecting, with the steering wheel turned, I'm expecting to still be able to be on the brakes like that. So we've got filthy tires, and there's no rage quitting here on Johnny's car, JCCR Racing. So we've got half a lap with tires that are going to be a little unpredictable. Gravel, grass, mud, bit of everything. So seems like there's some sort of accident up ahead. They've shot the yellow flag up. Yeah, the tires are still unpredictable. So not what I expected. But I still think, you know, these are my heirs. The Viper, the Dodge Viper, is a car to pole position with. But it does have that one issue, making it a hard car to drive after all for a beginner. Now in trial laps was not an issue. Didn't touch any gravel, didn't touch any grass. Well put together, solid, decent braking, good in the corners. Takes curbs, fantastic over the curbs. So we're gonna have to perfect this. So good at popping the curbs that I expected to do more with the Viper. So here with the Viper, just really have to watch out when I let go of the brake that I don't have the steering wheel turn too much. When I'm going high speeds, doesn't seem to be an issue on slow turns like that one. So finding the best car in Gran Turismo 7 really comes down to figuring out what your strengths and weaknesses are. I'm a last minute braker, I'm impatient. So a car that does not like to be braked at high speeds with a bit of turn in on the steering wheel is not the right vehicle for me. So I find the NSX and McLaren really easy to drive. The GTR really easy to drive. Hard to make a mistake with one of those. Dedicated, I'm concentrated. I don't want to finish in last here. I expected to do great things with the Viper and still will, just not in this race. But hey, we've got a car up ahead. We've got a good challenge. Can still be an intense race. And like the other day when I finished in second, as I mentioned, don't rage quit or cry quit. You gotta finish last to finish first. Sometimes you gotta be last to finish first. I know, we all learned first or last, but that doesn't mean quitting. It means sometimes, yeah, you gotta be last while you're chasing first. You make mistakes. Make mistakes when you're trying to be faster. Especially when I'm up against almost the whole grid gets faster laps than I do. We got a 203.3 and, you know, racing against 201s and 202s.
This is me, Nate Borges has left the room. This is me, Nate Borges has left the room.
Going a little quick, very light on the brakes if I need to use them just to redirect the nose. Slowly get in on that throttle. Don't want to be too hard on the throttle when that steering wheel's turned. And we're not gonna finish last. We're gonna finish where we started. Started in 12th, finished in 12th. Lawn mowing business coming right up. Landscaping, your lawn has been mowed for free by JCCR Racing. Bow, 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 bow. Thought I'd throw that out, even though it's pretty annoying noise. You can still have fun and not be in a pole position. I can live with that. We started off in 12th, we went all the way to dead last, and we got back into 12th. Still had a fun time. Now I need a pit stop, so I'm gonna set up the next race. Run upstairs. Got the timer here. Now, this hat for racing a Dodge Viper was supposed to bring porter bonne chance, bring good chance. But we're not there yet. Got a little timer here. So let's throw up the next race.
Dog Tavern has left the room.
So good job, Steve. You upgraded your drive, your speed. You upgraded your sportsmanship. RKSR, good silver. Adam, congratulations on the bronze. Airmail King, it didn't go on the attack. You stayed same. Dirty Steve, you didn't go down on your safety rating despite your name. Good job.
Has left the room.
So let's see. GTR last night was a relatively easy win. So much so that we bought the car. Right there, we bought the car. We liked it so much. And Gran Turismo 7, small suggestion, if you're forcing a certain type of tire and the car already has it, Can understand if the car hasn't bought it. If the car already has it, give it to them. Be right back, folks. All right, back in time. And welcome back to JCCR Racing. So a few tips and tricks for online racing. One, take a car that can get pushed around. We saw that Viper. Had I been just a little more practiced with it, we could have done some more impressive things. But we did get put into a higher class, a higher lobby of C. We used to race where 2:02 was the fastest time, and now they're 2 seconds faster. But the GTR is one heck of a great car. This thing does not get pushed around. It's not a lightweight, and it is so easy to drive. So let's finish up with doing Suzuka Circuit Daily Race B with a car that's just, so easy to drive. So the Viper there, the issue in this first turn is at high speed turns, releasing the brake, often put it into a slide, and I'm just not used to it enough. So it was kind of cracking my nerves. Now we did just race an endurance race with a GTR, the GT500 though, so a little different, but similar. So just have to get used to the speed of braking is going to be less, but it's still going to handle the curbs quite well. So tips, of course, always try to go from candy cane to candy cane. Get the inside apex turn in and get back on the gas as soon as possible. So better to go in slow and come out fast, be able to get on the pedal much sooner. Online trick, take a car that doesn't get pushed around. So the Ferrari 458 is one of my top 3 favorite cars. Very hard to use online if you're in a lobby where people are pushing, punting, and spearing. Class C, even though with the safety rating at S, it's still a bit of a clown show. You know, we saw in the last 2 races, the Viper got speared, the Viper got punted. Some of the people were being donkeys, and when you're in the top 3, Usually the driving's better, but I've been in second, I think it was, with the 911. I got punted and the thing got sent off the track. So I like to have a solid car. Now the BMW, M6, I'm gonna assume it's solid. But you can see up there the cars, those are often cars that are pretty darn fast. The M6, M3 I don't see as often. The M6 we see very often. The BRZ at the top, yes, it is very fast at this track. Viper, Bill Villeneuve, good job getting a 202.6 in the Viper. That's quick. So as we pass, we've got a beefy car behind us, a beefy car in front of us. Hopefully Crash TKR doesn't have that name because he likes to crash into you. So thank you very much for being here, folks. Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, our sister channel, brother channel. That over there, we've got two 911s, a 1999 and a 2000 for two different reasons. Testing out if you can have an old classic vehicle and not have it break the bank or break your marriage. A 2024 Ford F-150 Tremor, a Shelby 2017 Shelby GT350, and a Toyota MR2 1991 that cost us an engine. We had a J-Spec Gen 3 engine, and now we have yet again a we had a Gen 2 engine. Now we've got a Gen 3 engine in it, or in the States, what was considered the 5th generation, but the same engine, almost the same engine. Minor difference over in Japan was called Generation 3. So we know a few things about real world cars. We're trying to get better on the track, go from a zero to a hero, so we don't crash on the real racetrack. So we don't have insurance when we go on a racetrack, so we're going to make sure if we crash, it'd be awful that it costs us 30,000 or more. Oh, see, you can see. We also want to find out, Crash was bumping him and that really slowed him down, and we had to slow down to avoid, and now everyone is pushing through us. So what is it? Oh, I'm sorry, Crash. But you can see the GTR is really beefy. Crash, I'm sorry for that. Oh, he's not happy. He's coming back. This is some very intense racing. Grab onto your shorts, grab onto your hat. It's gonna be a wild ride. Oh my goodness, there's violence up ahead. I'm happy we were not part of that, folks. So thank you for watching JCCR Racing. Please like and subscribe. Drop a comment. We are open to suggestions on how to become a better racer, because we are going from zero all the way from beginner, zero to hero. Last night felt like a hero, finished in second in Class C, which was fantastic for us in this car. Please, folks, don't cry quit, don't rage quit. You gotta be last if you ever want to be first. Learn from your mistakes, learn to be a better defensive driver. Quitting, not a good lesson for life. Very solid, great grass landscaping business. Oh, and we've been punted hard, but we have avoided the wall, and I have no problem cutting the track like that because it was our track. You shouldn't have been driving into us hard like that. So let's see what positions we can climb back up. We normally start the grid in 12th, so finishing in second, pretty big deal. See what we can do for this race. You can see two sharks up ahead. I think they smell blood in the water. I think they're going to contact, and we'll have an easy pass on both of them. Can you win driving safely? Yes. Last night our silver was won just by driving really safely. We're one of the slowest. We started, I think, in 12th, so one of the slowest vehicles on the grid, and we finished second. still a pack of cars behind us. Engine braking to slow down the car more. So there, we should have been in second to avoid that spin, being one gear up from what they're suggesting. So up ahead, they're saying take it in second. We can take it in second, but we should be one gear up by the time we're back on the throttle. Now the competition's going to be pretty close behind us. Mario's not plugged in on his earphone, so he's not giving us good track advice. Well, that's one prediction. This is some intense racing. We've got action to our right. There we go. Hello, partner. Howdy. Oh, we're going to pass both of these here. Oh, I'm sorry. But they're going slow from their last crash and bump together. Oh my goodness. Happy we're in the GTR. This thing is solid. Oh, JB, I can't believe he did not get a penalty for that. It'd be maybe good for Gran Turismo to work on that, because it's kind of frustrated when someone can really spear you that many times, really work to take me off the course, and there's no penalty that popped up. You can tell it's been a real clown show when the fastest lap is at 2:04.5 from cars that normally get a 2. So they're running 4 seconds slower. Today has been a little painful. The afternoon bunch seems to be a little dirtier than the morning bunch. At least this air I can totally accept is on me. Whew. We lost a lot of time from being violently taken out. Down the straight. Now the Viper here, when we let go of the brake while having the steering wheel turned right there, that's when it would spin out. No issues in the GTR. Real beginner car, very forgiving. Get to the inside apex if we can, and we can't because we went in fast. Really the goal is to go in slow and come out fast. I would have thought that I would have been deducted 0.5 seconds for ignoring the track, but I guess that's pretty much on the outer limits. So let me know in the comments section what could we have done when we're getting speared that much? So should I just hit the brakes and hope that he's still in his trajectory to spear and T-bone the side of the car, and instead he just drives off? Or was holding the line the right move? So you can see as the laps progress, the clowning around is being reduced somewhat because, well, and first place has a bit of space, probably because 2 seconds faster on the lap time has now been produced. But we didn't give up. Just like in life, don't give up. Keep trying, and good things will come to you. And there we go. Quite possibly one of the cars that was just pounding on us. Ooh, cut a little bit of grass there, so I had to let go of the throttle just to get it back in. But very controllable. So that's how you want to take that corner. You want to be in a position so that you can get back on the throttle as soon as possible and before the end of the corner, which is not the case when you go in too quick. So, beginner tips with competitive, intense racing here at JCCR Racing. Really appreciate it if you help this small family business out with a like, subscribe, and a comment. But hey, we didn't rage quit, and we didn't finish last. We got a did not finish there. Crash TKR, which actually started off in, what was it? Started ahead of us. I thought he started in 8th or no, 6th. Yeah, Crash was ahead of us. And my comment was, hopefully Crash doesn't like to crash. And he did. Lots of violence on the track today. Happy I had a solid car. Not thrilled that we got pushed off. But hey, that's how the cookie crumbles today. That's how the tires get spun. Some days are good days, some days are bad days, but would love to see a bit more penalty when cars, you can really see that they're doing the out to then come in and really spear you, which is really what the, call it the fish attack, the shark, the shark attack. It'd be great if they picked up some penalties for that. But hey, you got to deal with what you're given. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not going to say, hey, thanks for the clean race. Y'all, my safety rating went up, being resilient, I guess, and not fighting back. Gran Turismo has upgraded my safety rating, Gran Turismo 7. But my C rating has definitely gone down. Yeah, no kidding. That was finished really 35-second slower lap just about for almost for going off like that. Nice to say congratulations to first. Congratulations. There you go. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching JCCR Racing. Congratulations to Clutch 2022. Hey, last race we followed that car for a little bit. He's the one that had slow written on the back. Pretty cool. I like that. Nice decal. And we've got Soaked in Joy in for silver. And for third, we've got Bill Villeneuve in the Viper. Love seeing a Viper up top. So We didn't finish with the Viper up top, but we got to see the Viper pole position in that beautiful red that we were racing. So that is a car that I definitely did not expect to see win and do well on the Suzuka circuit. It's so much more solid than I expected. It handles better than I expected. So there we have it, folks. Hope these tips have been helpful. Take care, everybody. See you in the next one.